Hi everybody, it's Momo, and today I'm going to be making a card with you guys. But before that, I wanted to actually tell my YouTube viewers, because I know that some of you guys do not follow me on my blog, I am going to be having a Ustream class tomorrow, which is Tuesday, September 7th, and it's going to be at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to be making some craft show items. I consider them craft show items because it's what I've sold at the last craft show that I had. But they can be holiday gifts, they can be stocking stuffers, they can be things that you can make for coworkers at work for the holidays, for their birthday, things like that. So it's just kind of crafty items. I am going to be showing, I'm just going to show you some samples of some stuff that I already have made. I'm going to be showing the acrylic post-it note holder. I am going to be showing the little post-it holder with the little pen. I'm going to do the altered composition book. And I'm going to make the little skinny notepads. So there's a few things that I'm going to be making, and then I'm going to be showing. Some things are already going to be done, but I'll kind of go over the basics with you of how to get it done. I just don't want to take up too much time on the class. But you guys will be able to ask questions live for those of you who are able to log in. I know that there were some people who had problems last time logging in. But for the most part, you'll be able to ask questions and things like that. I actually had people emailing me while they were watching the Ustream because they weren't able to log in, and I get them on my phone, so I'll be able to answer you if you just email me a question and things like that. So I hope that you guys will be able to join us. I did have a Ustream class for those of you who weren't able to attend. I had one last week on Monday, and it is recorded on my blog. So for the YouTube viewers or followers, tomorrow 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, jump over to my blog, and I'll have the link that'll take you directly to the actual class, and that's madebymomo.blogspot.com. And like I said, I'll have the link on there so you guys can be able to jump right over and join us for the class if you're interested in learning how to make any of those items. I'll be doing a few other things. I'm going to do a bookmark, and I think I have the I'm still thinking about the door hangers. I'm not really sure if I'm going to do it. If I have enough time, I'll do it at the end, or at least I'll tell you where to get the materials and things like that. So that's it. Let's get on to the card, and I hope you guys will be able to join us tomorrow. Okay, bye. Okay, so let's get on to our card. I'm going to be using my Martha Stewart scoreboard just to score my cardstock in half, and I'm doing a portrait card again. Apparently I'm obsessed with this kind of a card now, so you guys are going to have to bear with me until I get over it. It's the 4 1/4 by 11 inch card, and then we fold, we score, oh yeah, we fold. We score at 5 1/2, and then when you fold it, it becomes an A2 size card. And I'm just going to put that off to the side because, well, I can put down my pattern paper. This is the pattern paper that I'm going to be using. It's by My Mind's Eye. It's the Home Collection, and it's just a scrap. Everything that I'm using today is a scrap, mainly because I want to show you guys that you can just put a bunch of pattern papers together and make something really fun, even though it's not from the same collection or it doesn't necessarily match. So that's my pattern paper that I'm going to put at the bottom, and that was cut out at 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm just going to put that off to the side. Then what I did was I have, these are just pieces of cardstock. This is 4 by 3, this green one, this light green one, and this one is 4 1/4 by 3 1/4, so it's a 1/4 inch bigger than this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these together. And I haven't contemplated rounding the bottoms, but I think I'm not. So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere it down. Okay, then I'm going to get this orange piece, which is one of my scraps. And I'm going to do just a scallop border punch, which I am also clearly obsessed with because I have a ton of other punches and I just refuse to use them. So I'm clearly obsessed with this one too. And I'm just going to trim off the end here so that I can position it onto the side here. And what I want to do is I just want it to peek through. And that's going to stay like that. And that's going to look stinking cute. Right there. That's going to look really cute. Okay. So then the next thing that I wanted to do is I'm going to be doing a lot of embossing on, well, not a lot of embossing, but I'm going to be doing some embossing on this card. And I promise I am. I just don't know. I think I'm going to do it either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to be doing a whole like YouTube video on embossing and inks and things like that because I've had tons of questions on that. So I'm going to be doing that this week. And what I'm going to do is, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to emboss. I have a Heidi Swap stamp set that's an alphabet. And I'm going to put hello. Okay, so now that I went ahead and did that, I'm also going to just emboss a big swirl. And I have these little swirls that I love to use. And they're called Sketchy Flourishes. And it's by Inkadinkadoo. And like I said, it's one of my favorites. And adds a lot to a card if you just want to make like your own little kind of background image, which is what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to kind of make a background flourish for my flower that I'm going to put here. So then you're going to get, I have a little embossing buddy, but there's a lot of people that just put their embossing powder in Tupperwares, and they have different Tupperwares for every color. But I find that my little embossing buddy does just fine, and it's easier for me to store the little bottles. And I'm just using some clear embossing powder, and I'm just kind of flicking off the excess here in just a second. So I'm going to get my heat gun, and I'm going to go ahead and emboss, and I'll show you guys the finished product in just a second. So as you can see, what the clear embossing powder does is it picks up the color behind it, and it makes it just a little bit darker. And then it gives it that kind of glossy look. I don't know if you guys can see it, but you guys will be able to see it in the photograph at the end. So the swirls are done, and I did my little hello at the bottom. And I think it turned out kind of cute. And the good thing about the paper from Paper Tray Ink is that it holds up the heat pretty good. Normally when you emboss on paper, it'll warp it. And as you can see, it is a little warped, but it's not as bad as it could be. So the Paper Tray Ink paper holds up pretty well. There is a little bit of smudging, like I got some embossing powder a little bit off here, but you know what, it's paper crafting, so it can't be perfect all the time. So that's going to go on here, but it is going to have a flower on it. So here's the flower that I'm going to put on the card, and I'm going to show you. It's on page 71, and I just used the shift option, and I cut it out at 3, 2.5, 2, and 1.5. So I just cut it out 4 times in three different colors. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to adhere them one onto the other. So here's my 4 layers, and I just alternated the patterns and the way that they're kind of positioned on there, so it would look really cute. And then what I did was with one of my other pattern papers, I got these epoxy little domes at on Paper Tray Ink, but they sell them at Michael's and Joann's, and I've seen them even at Tuesday Morning for like 99 cents. And I put it on top of one of my pattern paper, and then I just cut it out all the way around. But you can get this exact same effect by probably just punching out a little circle or cutting it out, and then doing either crystal effects if you have Stampin' Up! Products, or you can do glossy accent and it'll give you the same effect as what I did here. And I'm just going to get a glue dot and just put this down right in the center, and I'm going to use that as my center for my flower. And that's going to go right about here. So we're going to lose a little bit of the flourishes, but it was actually just to kind of make it seem like something is behind the flower. And I'm going to just put some pop dots up here. Okay, so what I basically did on this little piece here is I went around my embossed hello, and I did a little bit of white stitching all the way around, and it just makes the sentiment pop a little bit. And I also did the white stitching on the hot pink part of it, just to kind of complement what I had done to the sentiment. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to put some pop dots on this and put it onto the base of the card. Okay, so I went ahead and I popped up this little centerpiece onto the card base. I tied a knot just to bring out the hot pink because I felt like there was a lot of green and it was kind of dominating the card a little bit. So I wanted to bring out the pink, and I've been dying to use it. Sarah knows I've been dying to use it. I finally got this Martha Stewart butterfly punch. I know it's super old, but I walked by it so many times. I always wanted it. I finally got it, and I've been dying to use it. So I thought that this was the perfect card because it was a flower, and I brought out the pink once again on this. And I used some Scotch Quick Dry to adhere that down so that won't be going anywhere. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this card. I really enjoyed making it. And remember that tomorrow, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that's 7 p.m. Pacific for the Ustream class on the craft show items. So that's it. Hope to see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.